Hey guys, our lesson question for this video is what are the short and long-term effects of exercise on the body? So we're going to start off by looking at the immediate effects of exercise. So this is what comes during exercise. So you'll start to be hot, sweaty, and may even develop red skin. Sweating helps to reduce your body's temperature and it helps you from overheating. You'll increase in depth and frequency of breathing. This is to increase the oxygen supply to the working muscles. It also helps to remove carbon dioxide from the body quickly. We also have an increase of the heart rate. So to increase oxygen supply to the working muscles. Anticipatory rise, triggered by adrenaline released in the body, and the mind's response to the body's need to prepare for exercise. So, a question for you. Which one of these is an immediate effect of exercise? Improvement of muscular endurance, improvement of stamina, increase in aerobic fitness, or increase in heart rate? Well, based on what we've looked at already, heart rate is the only immediate effect, so that will be your answer. Short-term effects of exercise, so up to 36 hours after exercise. So we have tiredness and fatigue. These can be either physical or mental. Fatigue is a feeling of extreme or severe tiredness due to a buildup of lactic acid or working for long periods of time. You could also experience lightheadedness. This can be experienced in the hours after training and is usually a sign of either dehydration or low energy stores or even both. Nausea. This is a feeling of sickness that can take place during the hours and even days after very intense physical exercise. Athletes need to try and refuel even if they do feel sick. And we have aching or delayed onset muscle soreness, or also cramping. This occurs when muscles experience pain for 24 to 28 hours after the intense exercise due to microscopic tears in the muscle fibers. The muscles need to be rested while in this condition to avoid injury. Question: which acid can build up as a result of fatigue? Well, this would be lactic acid. We saw before that there's a buildup of lactic acid which causes that severe tiredness. Next question. State two short-term effects of exercise 24 to 36 hours after exercise. Command word here is state. So you really only need to say them. You don't need to explain them. So it could be any of the following: tiredness or fatigue, nausea, aching, delayed onset of muscle soreness, cramps, or lightheadedness. We can accept any other suitable short-term effect of exercise. I would suggest not using synonyms. So tiredness and fatigue mean similar things. So you wouldn't necessarily get 2 marks if you said tiredness or fatigue. So make sure you have two very, very different answers there. Explain how fatigue may occur and state the negative effect that it can have on a performer in a named physical activity. So this is a 2-mark question. We're going to be looking at the command words explain how fatigue may occur and state the negative effect. So these are the keywords that you should be looking at. So explain how fatigue may occur for 1 point, and then stating the negative effect for the 2nd mark. So we have an AO1, which is the stating. So we're looking at overexertion, prolonged physical activity, build up of lactic acid, lack of oxygen to the muscles, when energy demand outstrips supply. Or then we have the AO2, which is a loss in concentration, being substituted, make unforced errors, or not being able to keep up with play. Any other example would be good, but make note that we would not accept performance will decrease or get worse unless qualified. Now we're going to look at the long-term effects of exercise. So these are in the months or the years after performing ongoing exercise. So your body shape may change. For example, you may lose weight. So when you're exercising, fat reduces fat stores and changes your body shape. You could also increase the size of your heart, which is known as hypertrophy. The muscle wall of the left ventricle increases in size, meaning it is able to pump out more blood during each contraction, which increases the stroke volume. You could have a lower resting heart rate. This is also known as bradycardia. A larger, stronger heart contracts more strongly and pumps more blood with each beat. So a larger stroke volume means your heart has to beat less often to pump the same amount of blood around your body. There are also improvements in specific components of fitness, like building muscle strength. Regular exercise makes your muscles thicker. Thickening of muscles equals hypertrophy. The thicker the muscle, the stronger it is. Improve muscular endurance. Muscular endurance, the ability of a muscle or muscle groups to undergo repeated contractions and avoiding fatigue. Improve speed. The maximal rate at which an individual is able to perform a movement or cover a distance in a period of time, putting the body parts into action as quickly as possible. Now, this is calculated by distance divided by time. Also have an improvement in flexibility. Flexibility is the range of movements possible at a joint. Or we could have an improvement in cardiovascular endurance or stamina. Cardiovascular endurance is the ability of the heart and lungs to supply oxygen to the working muscles. Exam questions. Which one of these is a long-term benefit of exercise? Now the answer to this is reduced blood pressure. Now, the reason that is for reduced blood pressure is because of the improved efficiency of the cardiovascular system due to long-term exercise. Okay, next question. Amar has been training for months in preparation to complete a half marathon. He trains 4 times a week and does a mixture of steady state running, stretching, and weight training. Amar's cardiovascular endurance will improve as a result of completing steady state running. State 3 other long-term effects that Amar is likely to experience as a result of completing steady state running. So the command word there is to state. And we don't want to be talking about the cardiovascular endurance because this has already been discussed. Okay, so 1 mark to be awarded up to 3 marks for each of the following points, or for one of the following points. The body shape may change to less fat content or leaner. Improved muscular endurance, which is different to cardiovascular endurance. Improved stamina. Increase in the size of the heart or hypertrophy. And lower resting heart rate or bradycardia. As I said before, we cannot accept improved cardiovascular endurance, as that is already part of the question. So a reminder of what we have discussed today. We have had a look at the immediate effects of exercise, such as hot, sweaty, red skin, or an increase in depth and frequency of breathing. We have also looked at an increase in heart rate. We then had a look at the short-term effects of exercise up to 36 hours after exercise. So tiredness or fatigue, lightheadedness, nausea, aching, delayed onset muscle soreness, or cramping. And then we had a look at the long-term effects of exercise in the months or years of exercising, and this included body shape changing, such as losing weight, increase in the heart size or hypertrophy. Looked at bradycardia or lower resting heart rate. We looked at building muscular strength, improvement of muscular endurance, improvement of speed, improvement in flexibility, and improvement in cardiovascular endurance.